Legal procedures for asylum seekers in Italy. Ciao! In this video, we will give you an overview of the legal procedures for asylum seekers in Italy. Let's get started. In Italy, you can ask for asylum and international protection if this is the first country in which you entered without an entry visa and therefore irregularly, the country that already issued you a residence permit or an entry visa, the country in which a family member is regularly present if you are an unaccompanied minor, or the country where a family member who has been recognized as a refugee or who has applied for asylum is located. Your dossier will be sent to the Dublin unit of the Ministry of Interior in Rome for evaluation. While the procedure to examine your application is ongoing, your condition on Italian territory is as asylum seeker, and you will be granted a temporary residence permit. If at the end of the procedure the Dublin unit rejects your request, you can appeal to the judge. The law states that you can be assisted by a lawyer, also through free legal assistance. Your rights as asylum seeker. As asylum seeker and with your temporary residence permit, you can get your personal number or codice fiscale. In order to get it, go to the Agenzia delle Entrate or Sportello Unico per Immigrazioni of your city and take with you the following documents: residence permit request, passport with valid entry visa, and request for application for international protection. Register in the National Health Service by going to the Centro Unico Prenotazioni with your personal number. Work. You can also work if the decision on your asylum application is not delivered within 6 months of its submission and the delay is not your fault. The residence permit is then renewed for 6 months and allows you to work until the conclusion of the application procedure. Application for international protection. The application for international protection is individual and must be submitted to the border police upon arrival in Italy, the police station, and the police immigration office if you are already in Italy. If you are a parent, your application is extended to your unmarried minor children present on Italian territory. If you entered Italy without an entry visa and therefore irregularly, you will have to go to the police before submitting the asylum application. You will be given an appointment at the police station, and during this meeting, the police will take pictures of you and your fingerprints. To register your application, you will receive an appointment during which you will fill in the model for the recognition of refugee status under the Convention of Geneva, describe your journey to Italy, and briefly describe and write down the reasons you left your country. You can also add some documents with a summary of your story, and the police will take your original passport, ID or certificates and give you a signed copy. All the information you will give during this meeting is confidential and cannot be transmitted to the authorities of your home state or to other people. If you have no means of subsistence and you are not in a government shelter, you can ask the police to activate the reception procedure in one of the centers set up by the local authorities called SPRAR. How the decision on your application is made. The decision on your application is made by the Territorial Commission for the Recognition of International Protection, composed of 4 members: 2 representatives of the Ministry of the Interior, 1 representative of the municipality, and 1 UNHCR representative. By law, the meeting with the Commission should be communicated by the police within 30 days from the submission of the application. An interpreter will also participate in the hearing. Until the Commission decides on your application, you cannot leave Italy. Possible results from an application to international protection. The Commission, by written decision, may recognize refugee status, not recognize refugee status but grant subsidiary protection if it's believed that there is a real risk of serious harm in the event of a return to the country of origin, not recognize refugee status but grant you staying due to special reasons, not recognize refugee status and reject the application because it's considered unfounded. For example, when it appears that you've submitted an application just for delaying or preventing expulsion or refoulement. You can appeal to the court against the Commission's decision within 30 days from the communication of the decision. If you are hosted in a government center for asylum seekers called CARA, you can appeal to the court within 15 days instead. Your rights as beneficiary of international protection. As a refugee, the residence permit for asylum has a duration of 5 years and is renewable at each expiration. The rights for refugees include access to work, social assistance, healthcare and public education, right to move freely within EU, right to apply for Italian citizenship after 5 consecutive years in Italy, right to family reunification and to marry, right to participate in the allocation of public housing and to obtain a driver's license, and the right to have the travel document. The residence permit for subsidiary protection has a duration of 3 years and is renewable at each deadline after the Commission has re-evaluated your case. The rights for beneficiaries of a subsidiary protection include access to work, healthcare and social assistance, right to family reunification, right to have a travel document for foreigners, and the right to participate in the allocation of public housing. Special reasons. This permit is granted for special cases such as victims of domestic violence and labor exploitation, medical treatment, in the case of a calamity, reasons of particular civil value, and for special protection cases such as if there are solid reasons to believe that a person risks being subjected to torture. Returning to your country of origin in safety and dignity is your right. The Assisted Voluntary Return Program includes counseling, updated information on the country of origin, assistance in obtaining travel documents, travel organization and coverage of expenses, and the provision of a reinstallation and reintegration allowance. Remember that you cannot access the voluntary repatriation program if you have an expulsion order or if your application was denied for more than 30 days. These are the basics of the legal procedures for asylum seekers in Italy. We hope this video was useful and provided you with some insights on how the procedures for getting international protection in Italy work.